The Vomero Plus is Nike's newest max cushion daily trainer. It also happens to be the successor to the Invincible 3s and the Invincible lineup in general. And the name isn't the only thing that has changed. Quick Kofuzi style disclosure, Nike sent me these shoes early. They didn't ask me to make a video or review about them, nor will they be seeing this video before you guys. But with that being said, let's talk about the all new Nike Vomero Plus. When the Vomero Plus was first announced, I, like many others, were very nervous about the fact of the Invincibles being completely replaced. I am a very big fan of the Invincible lineup. I have well over 10 pairs of Invincibles. It is my favorite daily trainer. I still have 2 pairs of the 3s that I'm using currently, and it is a staple in my shoe rotation. So my big question going into testing this shoe was, is it a worthy successor of the Invincible name, and can I use it for the same runs that I used the original Invincibles for? Now, something to note is that the Vomero Plus are not publicly available just yet. As of recording, I do believe they come out on August 7th. That could be right or wrong, I'm not 100% sure. I also don't have a lot of the information that comes with these shoes due to them not being out. I believe they're going to be retailing at $180, the exact same as the Invincibles, obviously, which is $25 more than the Vomero 18s. Another shoe that I don't actually have as of yet. I plan on getting a pair, and I will talk about the differences between this and the Vomero 18 to my understanding at the very least. I can't exactly say what they feel like on foot, but I can give my opinion knowing what others say they feel like and from the little differences that I know of. Now, so far I've been able to get in quite a few runs with the Vomero Plus, very easy runs, moderate runs, and one long run. The long run was really the test that I wanted to see the most out of the Vomero Plus, because long runs are what I'd normally do use the Invincibles for. The Invincibles have been my long run shoe for a very long time now, and I didn't want that to change. But I will say I was absolutely ecstatic to find out how amazing the Vomero Plus felt on a long run. Now, it is worth mentioning that the Vomeros have Zoom X foam, and this is pure Zoom X foam. Unlike the Vomero 18s, which the biggest difference between the two shoes is the Vomero 18s have a mix of Zoom X and React foam, which is why these Vomero 18s tend to feel a little bit stiffer from what I've heard and not as cushioned. Also, Zoom X foam I think is a little bit faster than React foam from testing the original Infinity Reacts, which had React foam in them, versus something like the Invincibles. I do really like Zoom X foam. I think it's some of the best foam on the market at this point. I think it's been that way for quite a while now as well. But I will say that this shoe has a very interesting ride compared to the Zoom X Invincibles, especially the Invincible 3s. Now, it's still early days, but I do feel like the biggest difference between the Invincibles and the Vomero Plus are the rock I kind of feel in the Vomero Plus. For whatever reason, and to be fair, you can kind of tell when it's just sitting down on a flat surface, it has a little bit more of a rock than I feel the Invincible 3s have, which isn't exactly a bad thing. I think it just makes it a little bit faster. During my long run, I was able to drop well under 7-minute pace and hold that pace very easily. I never felt like I was slowing down. That rock really does seem to kind of push you forward and help keep a consistent pace instead of something like, you could look at the Structures or the OG Vomero 17s, the Pegasus, not the Pegasus so much, but shoes that are not meant to run fast, if you will. They don't tend to propel you forward. They're more of a flat, easy ride. And the Vomero Plus just kind of have this little bit of a rock. And not to say it's a bad thing for running to run slower, because I do think these shoes do a fine job at slower paces. I just think that these shoes are going to be a little bit better for when you are picking up the pace a little bit, which is odd for a max cushion shoe. I do feel like a lot of times when I'm wearing a max cushion shoe, I want to be doing my slow, easy recovery runs. but I do think that's been something that we've seen over time with something like the Invincibles. A lot of people think the Invincibles are hard to run slow in. I personally haven't had that problem, but it is something that the community has talked about. So I do think this is kind of sticking with that nature in the sense that it is easy to pick up pace in this. I'm not going to go run anything faster than, say, you know, an easy up-tempo pace, probably not even marathon pace, but I would feel comfortable if I needed to add a couple hard miles in a long run using these shoes. I don't think it would be a problem. So that really leads us back to the question of what is the purpose of this shoe? And for me, it is going to be a long run shoe, like I said. I think this did a fantastic job at the long run, and I'm going to be exclusively using it for that. I think this is the type of shoe that if I'm knowing I get to wear it once a week and it's sitting there on my shelf, just ready to go, long runs take a lot of effort out of your legs and your shoes. Like, it's not easy to compress this foam for 16 to 17 miles for 2 hours every Saturday and expect it to be ready to go a day or two after. So I think that giving it the time it needs to, you know, refresh in a sense is going to be perfect, and knowing that I'm going to be able to reach for these every long run morning is going to be one of the great feelings of having multiple different shoes in a shoe rotation. Of course, this could very also well be used for something like an easy run or recovery run, things like that, of that nature. It's a max cushion shoe at the end of the day. The Zoom X foam feels unbelievably soft. In comparison to the Invincible 3s, this cushion definitely feels softer, and it doesn't compress and stay compressed. It very much shoots back up like a trampoline, which I was very impressed with, because I think many of us know that's kind of just how Zoom X reacts, but having that pure Zoom X in this running throughout the bottom of the shoe, you can really tell and you can really feel it. And I think that's one of the great things that this shoe does. I also love the upper. The lacing that it has is different from any of the other shoes that I own outside of the Streakfly, funny enough. The Streakfly has this same type of lacing where it has a little bit of an extra lace coming out that pulls a little bit easier. I think it's easier to put on. It is pretty breathable. It's like a meshy upper, which I do really like. It just all around feels like an improvement on the Vomero 18. Again, I haven't worn it, but from what I can tell, it also feels like an improvement on something like the Invincible 3s. A lot of people didn't love the Invincible 3s because some people had heel slippage problems. I didn't personally have any heel slippage in these shoes, but I also didn't have them in this shoe, so I'm assuming, or hoping at least, there isn't any heel slippage in this shoe. Again, I never had any issues with the original one, so I can't say for certain, but these shoes feel absolutely fantastic. Lacing these up felt amazing. Wearing them for the few runs that I got to, especially the long run, was an absolute joy. I genuinely think that this could be in contention for Shoe of the Year. Definitely Nike's Shoe of the Year, without a doubt. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the Vomero Premium comes out, because that's even more of a stack height. I'm not really sure what that one's going to be used for. But outside of the shoes that I've been able to test, something like the Structure, I've worn Vomero 17s, I have all the Invincibles. This is by far my favorite shoe that I've worn to date, and that's saying a lot because I absolutely love the Invincibles. Like I said, I have so many pairs of them. I've gone through so many. This shoe felt like an improvement in every way you could think of. I genuinely think this is an amazing daily trainer, and if you liked the Invincibles, you're gonna love this shoe. Again, Nike's not paying me to say any of this. I'm just that big of a fan of the Vomero Plus, and I could not be more excited for next week to be able to do a long run in it again. That being said, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop them in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer all of them. And that being said, take care, love all things. I'll see you guys next video, and peace out.